afternoon to all. In the presence of the Minister of Science, Technology and Productive Innovation, Dr. Lino Barañao, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany in Argentina, Mr. Günter Kneiss, secretaries, undersecretaries, national authorities, foreign authorities, researchers of the Max Planck Society, renowned Argentinian and foreign scientists and researchers. We begin with the official opening of the symposium Frontiers in Biosciences, organized jointly by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Productive Innovation through the National Directorate of International Relations and the Max Planck Society. It is noteworthy that we are witnessing the first scientific activity of the partner institute, Max Planck Society in Buenos Aires, as well as the first scientific meeting at the facilities of the Scientific and Technological Pole. The Minister of Science, Technology and Productive Innovation, Dr. Lino Barañao, is accompanied by the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany in Argentina, Mr. Günter Kneiss, and by Dr. Eduardo Arzt, Director of the Biomedicine Research Institute of Buenos Aires, CONICET, Partner Institute of the Max Planck Society. We invite Dr. Eduardo Arzt.
Hello, dear Minister Lino Barañao, dear President of CONICET, Dr. Roberto Salvarezza, President of the National Agency of Science and Technology, Dr. Armando Beltranú, Vice President of the Max Planck Society, Professor Herbert Diekle, Ambassador of Germany, Mr. Günter Kneiss, authorities, colleagues, friends, and students. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all today in this opening ceremony. This symposium is the first academic activity that we realize here at the Polo. Soon, the laboratories and facilities will be functioning, and this atmosphere of dynamic discussions that we had here today and we will have these days will hopefully be the daily atmosphere of this place. I am very pleased to share this table with Minister Barañao. We all know that without his support and vision, the Polo would not have been a reality. Also with Mr. Kneiss, the German embassy and his personal support have been substantial always for our activities. And also to share this night with Professor Diekle and Holzberg, the two closest drivers for the participation of the Max Planck Society in this project. We have decided to make the meeting here at the Polo, although the auditorium, together with the Science Museum, is part of the second phase of the construction to be finished in 2014. And we are very satisfied about this, despite the noise that we have here, for example, for the train. But we wanted to have it here at the Polo in this first activity. I want to especially thank Rodolfo Blasco from the Ministry of Science and Technology, who has made the construction of this Polo a success. I wish to thank the colleagues of the Max Planck Society for their effort in coming and participating in this symposium. I hope it will be the first of many visits and that permanent activities, such as summer schools, can become a reality here at the guest laboratories at our institute, with your permanent participation. For our visitors that do not know the facilities, we will have a visit on Wednesday, but if some of you leaving before or for any reason wants to do it before, please just let us know. I will do it at any moment. This ceremony is probably one of the first official activities of our new CONICET president, Dr. Roberto Salvarezza. Roberto has been member of the CONICET Max Planck Commission that evaluated the junior group and that in many meetings advised me in the search for the best highly qualified applicants to become the group leaders at the Partner Institute. I wish also to mention the presence of some of our friends who help and support our institute, such as the Bunke & Born Foundation, laboratories ELEA and CIDUS, and the members of our foundation. Also, DHL, Fertner, and Beringer, who provide us the place to storage the equipments that we will move here in the coming days. Last but not least, I wish to thank the people who has organized the meeting, the staff of the National Direction of International Relations from the Ministry, particularly Jose and Karina, and the staff of our institute, very especially Ivana. I wish you all a very successful and fruitful meeting, and stay in Buenos Aires.
We now invite the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany in Argentina, Mr. Günter Kneiss.
Guten Tag, good afternoon, buenas tardes a todos. Señor Ministro, Dr. Eduardo Arzt, researchers, investigators, scientists and students, liebe Landsleute, liebe Max-Planck-Direktoren aus Deutschland, liebe Nobelpreisträger, invitados todos. When I recall one of my very first activities in Argentina almost 4 years ago, it was related to Max Planck. It was in September of 2008 when Professor Jäckler, the Vice President of the Max Planck Society, came here on the occasion of deciding about the junior program. And I recall very vividly when we had meetings, and we had a meeting with the president. And Max Planck accompanied me, and the embassy accompanied Max Planck throughout almost 4 years since then. That's why I'm happy to be here on the site, which we visited jointly many times in the different stages of construction. And that's why I'm quite excited to see so many people around here, so many guests from my country, from Germany, in this first scientific meeting, which is, as I understand, the academic inauguration of the Polo Scientifico. And I'd like to congratulate all those who participated in establishing and constructing this very extraordinary project, and particularly the Minister and his staff, Dr. Eduardo Arzt, and of course all those who were involved, and we met in the construction, and all others responsible for this. I'm glad to be here and to see this long-standing project now being put into action and into function. What really fills me with pride is that one important institution of my country, the renowned Max Planck Society, forms part of this Polo Scientifico and is a full-blown partner in a partner institute in one of the very few cooperation projects with which the Max Planck Society entertains abroad. Let me put this in a context of German government policy. I'm representing here the German government, and German foreign policy is since a couple of years trying to make the most out of the opportunities of the internationalization of science. Globalization here, and I quote the minister, is very important in science. He once said, science without transgressing the frontiers, which without an international aspect is not a science at all. German foreign policy in 2009 took this up and put down a strategy in a ground rule which we call the German science foreign policy. And this in 2010 was supplemented by a strategy for Latin America. A strategy which does not only concentrate, of course, on education and science and technology, but this is an innovative part of this strategy, is a new element, a new pillar of German foreign policy. And I think this Max Planck partnership with CONICET and MINCIT matches perfectly those endeavors by the German government. And I'm convinced that in this enterprise, our both interests of both countries meet to the mutual benefit of our countries and people. Thus, cooperation in science and technology is a key component of this Latin American strategy. I've mentioned this before, but I'd like to reiterate that official relations between Germany date back to the year 1857. That's already 155 years. And even before then, relations in science and education started with a visit by then later President Domingo Fausto Sarmiento to Germany, where he made his famous appeal to German researchers, scientists, investigators, academicians, museum people, etc., to come to Argentina and to cooperate in the construction and the establishment of faculties, of academies, of museums, etc. And they came. Burmeister, of course, is the most known name of those days. And they came and they founded, the Museo de la Plata and participated in the Academia de Córdoba, and many faculties in the interior of the country, like the universities in La Plata, Córdoba, and Tucumán. Going a bit forward, in 1969, we formalized our ongoing cooperation in education and science and technology by signing a bilateral agreement on cooperation in science and technology. Former President Nestor Kirchner, and accompanied by his spouse, then visited Germany in 2005 and visited the Max Planck Society in München and met with its president, Professor Peter Gruß. Minister Barañao, Dr. Arzt are just a few of those Argentinian researchers who went to Germany to stay there and do a research stay for a couple of years. And I understand we always have a number which is 40 or 50 permanently there, but not permanently there, but this is a two-way street returning to Argentina after they stay in Germany. One of the highlights was recently in 2010, in the year of the bicentenary, the opening and the presence of the science tunnel of the Max Planck Society, which was, a huge project which was there at the Ministry of Education, which dealt with the divulgation of science. And as well as you have now the title of Frontiers in Bioscience, this exhibit wanted to show to the broad public and especially to the young people in Argentina where in different fields of science the frontiers were and where the development is going. Nowadays, bilateral scientific cooperation has evolved continuously and there's a couple of topics of mutual interest like environmental research and technology, biotechnology, medicine, biomedicine, materials research, nanotechnology, physical and chemical technology, and a couple of others. Research and education in a broad sense have become actually the pillars of our bilateral relations. It is not concentrated on scientific cooperation alone. There is another contribution to the bicentenary which started by a wish, a desire and endeavor by German companies here in Argentina. They decided to make a contribution in the field of education and science. And out of this effort, out of this initiative, we established successfully what is practically a German-Argentinian virtual university. We call it the Argentinian-German University Center, which is an establishment which establishes bilateral careers being put forward in both countries and with diplomas valid in the two countries. This is sort of a public-private partnership we place very high hopes on it. In a way, I'd like to give you a picture, an image, a metaphor of what we're doing between Argentina and Germany. I once called it a highway of education and science. Let's take the German schools here, which deal with primary and secondary education. We have graduate studies. We have now with the university center, we have postgraduate studies, and we have, of course, this very long-standing and ongoing cooperation in science and technology. What we're still a bit missing, and we will be working on that, is to have more cooperation, more exchange in the graduate studies. We feel that the highway is not being used enough in both directions in this field. And I think it's very important, in order to support our efforts in science and technology, to have a broader basis of students of both countries doing graduate studies in the other country. Well, it is for me, of course, a great pleasure to be here and to see the financial and political and academic commitment of the Argentinian government in the construction in such a short time of such an important center, which is the Polo Científico. I'm glad that the Max Planck Society forms part of this enterprise, and I think that your symposium here is an excellent and outstanding opportunity of meeting of science, of pulling down those frontiers and borders which exist, and a true contribution to the internationalization of science and technology. I wish you all the best of successes in this endeavor, and have a good Congress. Thank you very much.
We now invite